How can Australians get married in Italy? Hi and welcome to The Legal Wedding Planner, a firm created by legal consultants and wedding planners based in Italy. There is a specific legal framework for Australian citizens marrying in Italy, and today I'll walk you through the entire process. It is based on an official agreement between Italy and Australia. This agreement has been ratified in Italy through Law 233 of 2002. The first step is the Nulla Osta, so the Australian citizen must attend an appointment at the Australian Embassy in Rome or at the Australian Consulate in Milan. On this occasion, the Australian citizen must swear a declaration stating that there are no legal impediments under Australian law. Even though the Australian citizen is swearing on their responsibility, the Australian consulate or embassy will still require a divorce certificate or death certificate if applicable. At this stage, no translation and legalization are required, since you're dealing directly with the Australian authorities in Italy. Once the Nulla Osta is issued, it is not yet valid in Italy. In fact, the Nulla Osta must then be legalized in the Prefettura. This step confirms that the signature of the Australian consular officer is authentic. The Australian citizen will also need to swear the Atto Notorio before an Italian authority, usually before an Italian court. In terms of timing, it is important to know that involving Italian and Australian authorities may require from 2 days up to 4 days depending on the office's availabilities. And now that we have our Nulla Osta legalized and the Atto Notorio, we are ready to inquire the town hall and book 2 appointments. The first one is the declaration of no impediments and our civil ceremony. And now there is a very important phase that almost nobody explains properly. Under Article 30 of Law 218/1995, the spouses can select the law they want to be applied to their property regime after the civil marriage. Under Article 30, the couple can either choose the law of the country where one of them is a citizen or the law of a country where one of them resides. Since most of the time Australian citizens who are legally marrying in Italy reside in Australia, they prefer to have the Australian law to be applied to their property regime. For this reason, when we inquire the town hall, we expressly request to mention the law the couple wants to be applied to their property regime. Now that the matrimonial property regime has been established, let me explain how the marriage certificate can be used in Australia. As a first step, we have to legalize the marriage certificate at the competent prefettura through the apostille process. Once the marriage certificate has been apostilled, we have to hire a translator who will swear before a court official the fidelity of the translation. Once the translation has been sworn, we have to inquire the competent public prosecutor, who is the one entitled to place an apostille even on the sworn translation. This because even the sworn translation is a public document and needs to be apostilled to be used in Australia. With this final step, the recognition process is complete. We then send the marriage certificate fully translated and legalized to Australia or to the country where the couple lives. Thank you for watching this video so far. If you need any kind of support, feel free to reach out to us through our website. I will leave the link in the description below.